Right, and seeing what's happening in the global space, we start from the United States, where our correspondent Maria Bird did a recap of the close of market activities yesterday.
And yes, the U.S. stock market has had quite a bit of a dip on Thursday, as the Dow Jones was down at 0.9%, the S&P 500 was down at 0.2%, and the heavy tech Nasdaq was down at 0.1%. Many investors were a bit concerned to see the slip on the day, as they digested earnings reports. And also, there's an imminent deal for the Strait of Hormuz. Now, if that deal does go through in the near future, we could see an upward swing in the U.S. economy. But until that time, we continue to watch and see how the U.S. markets respond.
Other stories now: Meta Platform Incorporated was ordered by a New Mexico judge to pay $567 million into a fund to address harm to young users, marking one of the most significant court rulings yet against a social media company over child safety concerns. The ruling, handed by Judge Brian Bredshed in the First Judicial District Court in Santa Fe, follows a March jury verdict that found Meta had violated New Mexico's consumer protection law by misrepresenting the safety of Facebook and Instagram for children. According to the Journal, which reviewed the court's 67-page order, the judge also required Meta to implement a series of changes to better protect minors using its platforms. And French unemployment continued to rise, reaching the highest level in almost 6 years. The rate was I beg your pardon, just before we head there now, we did see that in the United States also there's the expectation of job losses in the US, and bond investors are looking that way to see where the data would lead. It may tip the scale on a Fed hike, which we know is expected to start rising from the next meeting. And still talking about jobs now, we head to France. Unemployment rate there we see continue to rise. It hit 8.3% in the second quarter from 8.1% in the previous period. This is according to data from the National Statistics Agency, INSEE, and that's stronger than the 8.2% median estimate in a survey by economists. And in Germany, we see that the industrial production grew for a third month, another sign that Europe's largest economy is resisting the drag from the Iran war. Output increased 0.2% from a month earlier, the Statistics Office said, and that's down from a downwardly revised 0.7% and matches the median economist estimate in a Bloomberg survey. We go to Asia now. The price of key Chinese steel products has dropped to the lowest in almost a decade as prolonged property downturn sapped construction demand and swell inventories. A sports rebar fell for a 49th straight day to 3,142 yuan. The lowest since November 2016, according to an average of regional prices from Beijing, and it's a crucial gauge of China's traditional steel market because of its widespread use in real estate and infrastructure projects. Close there, Japan's 4 largest life insurers reported that their combined unrealized losses on domestic bonds increased 7% in the 3 months through June. That shows that risks to the industry from soaring interest rate. Paper losses on bonds held by the insurers that we saw swell to 15.13 trillion yuan, according to the 4 firms. And then we moved to SK Hynix Incorporated. They're planning a 54 trillion won expansion of their chip making facility in South Korea. The memory chip maker shared this, saying that the company will build a new DRAM manufacturing facility and the fabrication plant in Cheongju, with roughly 2/3 of the budget going to the first of them. The move, covering both dynamic memory for the lowest latency and solid-state storage for fast access to greater quantities of data, is in response to the continuous growing demand for memory in the AI era. Those are the global stories for now.